Hello everyone, this is Srijani and today we are going to discuss about something, a mystery of students' life. What is that mystery? The mystery is how to concentrate more in our studies. Yeah. So all of us at some point in our lives have asked ourselves, why can't I concentrate on this particular topic? Why am I studying line after line after line? Why are we studying paragraphs after paragraphs and nothing is getting inside our heads? We can study a full page and we can't register anything. So, why do you think this happens? And what is the solution for this? Because all of us have goals in lives. We have to reach somewhere, and for that, studying is extremely important, extremely crucial. So, for example, you want to crack a certain exam. It can be UPSC, it can be CGL, it can be NET, it can be your NEET exams, your IIT cracking exams, anything. For that, you have to study. You have to sit and study for hours on end. Am I right? Yes. Now, some of us are just good with it. Some of us are just born with it. We can study for hours and hours and hours and hours without getting distracted. And the rest of us, we struggle with concentration. Now, the rest is a big part. Not everyone is gifted in academics, but everyone deserves to have good results. Everyone can put their heart and soul into hard work, and all of them can achieve good results in life. So, how do we do that? Now, firstly, one of the things that we really overestimate ourselves. We do overestimate ourselves. We are like, we get overhyped, we get over motivated, if I may say, and then we think that okay, I'll complete 10 chapters in one day. Now all of us know that that isn't possible. Now when this said overhyped student cannot complete 10 chapters a day, he or she gets demotivated. He thinks that no, I won't be able to crack this exam. Now, what is the solution to this? We have to set achievable goals that we can achieve bit by bit every day of our lives. Reaching a particular destination is always about the journey and especially about exams. We have to study bit by bit. For example, you study chapter 1 to chapter 3 today. Then, from tomorrow, when you're starting chapter 4, you don't immediately start with chapter 4. You revise chapter 1 to chapter 3. Now, I'm saying chapters. For some, it may be topics. For some, it may be theories. For some, it may be other things. Whatever is your field of study, whatever is your interest or your alienation. So that is one of the most important things. We have to absolutely set extremely achievable goals. Now that doesn't mean we are going to study one line a day. We have to make a schedule that we can heartily follow, which also helps us complete our syllabus and helps and makes time for revision before the exam. It doesn't mean make your study so convenient that you don't finish it till the exam. You don't finish the syllabus. Then, one of the most important things after setting achievable goals is we have to understand what topics are the most important ones. Now, there might be some topics that are easier to study, and there might be some topics which are more difficult. This applies for every subject and every kind of examination. We have to understand that not all topics are same and not all topics have the same difficulty level. So what do we do and how do we divide that? Firstly, we make a list of the topics that are to be studied. That is very important. Then we mark 1, 2, 3, 4 beside them. That makes us more in tune with the schedule. So you mark the tough ones before. You are motivated, you are very hyped up for your exam, you want to achieve goals in your life. So what you do, you first mark the difficult ones. You first mark the ones that you think you will have trouble studying, or you will need more help, or you will need more concentration. That is a very important thing, because if you are studying, if you, for example, if you have studied 6 hours and then on the 7th hour you're starting a difficult topic, nothing will get registered in your head. Then after prioritizing your topics, you have to make a plan. You have to make a plan that this topic I'm going to study 3 to 4 hours per day. Then I'm going to shift to another chapter or shift to another discipline, and I'm going to do 3 to 4 hours of that. Or many of us study 2 degrees at a time, and we have to crack both of them. So that becomes even harder. For example, if you're doing MA and BA at the same time, you have to learn 2 different things at the same time. So what do we do for that? We set a specific time for MA studies or MSc studies, and then a separate time for BH studies. This is a very important thing, and we have to totally register this in our heads, that we cannot gulp all of the topics at the same time. Now after this, after you have created topics, after you have marked everything, you have started studying, you have started following your routine basically, what do? A very important thing, a very crucial thing for your sanity is incorporating breaks. Yes, it's very important. It is absolutely indispensable to incorporate breaks in between your studies. If you continue studying for 6 hours, 7 hours, it is absolutely unavoidable that you will get tired. And on the 7th hour, nothing will get inside your head. So what do? When you are getting tired, for example, you have studied for 3 hours and then you are getting tired, you are feeling sluggish, what you will do? You will get up. You will take a brisk walk or go outside for some time, maybe chat with your parents, chat with your friends, and then you again sit back to study. This break can include a lot of things. Like you might want to do your favorite activities. You might want to game a little, you might want to read a book, you might want to paint a little, but this break shouldn't exceed the given time. It shouldn't divert your mind from your primary goal. So after incorporating breaks and studying and following your goals, there will come a time when it will all get very drab. It's unavoidable. Everything will get very drab and you will feel like, I can't do this anymore, I have to give this up, and I have to totally give up my goals, and my life decisions are wrong. Many of us go through this period of overthinking. Correct me if I'm wrong, but there is always that one night when you're sitting and thinking, okay, what I'm is this the right decision to make? Studying 2 degrees at a time, will I be able to do it? This is just an example. Is UPSC too hard for me? Will I be able to crack NET? Is CGL a goal for me? So when these thoughts come, you have to make yourself understand, why did you choose this goal in the first place? What did you think then? How do you want to make your life better? Do you want to make it better financially? Do you want to make it better spiritually? Do you want to be a known person in your society? Do you want to be do you want to make your parents proud? Do you want to make yourself proud? Do you want to make your loved ones proud? And the career that you have chosen, how is that absolutely suitable to you, to your personality? Not all of us can be teachers. Not all of us can be lecturers. Not all of us can be good accountants. Not all of us can be good bankers. Some people are cut to do 9 to 5 jobs. Some people are just not made for that. So, the most important thing before planning your exam is to understand that, is to confirm actually if you have your career at your mind or not. You have to love what you are doing. You have to love what you're studying. If you are not a science person, if you're not a literature person, and you are forced by the society or your parents into that subject or into that discipline, you will never be able to completely give your 100% to it. You should be the one deciding your own career or your own discipline and your own goals in life, because you will be the one living your life. Yes, your parents will always have a say in your life because they are the one who care for you, but that doesn't mean that you can completely let them in your daily lives, daily study lives. So having said that, let's get back to the topic. You are taking breaks, you are doing what is needed to study. Now the study itself is getting bored. When the study gets boring, you are prone to take very frequent breaks. Now, what happens when you take very frequent breaks is you get inevitably less time to study and your whole routine gets delayed. So, what you can do to counter this is you can add some fun elements to your study related to your subject. That is, you can watch a fun video. Now, nowadays in YouTube, you find a lot of fun videos regarding the subject that you love or the exam that you're doing. You can learn tips and tricks. You can solve a puzzle regarding your inclination. You can do that, or you can find ways to make your subject more interesting, more intriguing. You can look into the part or topics that you love, that really interest you. You can look into those. You don't always have to be a complete robot when studying. You can, for example, if you're studying literature, you can always pick out the poem that you love. Maybe that poem is not in your syllabus. You can just pick that out and study that, because literature is about loving the subject. Just like that, for example, if you're studying physics, there's this one law that really intrigues you. Go search that law on YouTube. You will find thousands of interesting videos. You will find that law actually coming into practice in real life, and that will not only make your study more fun, you will also register the topic more effectively in your head. So these are the little tips and tricks that can make your daily drab study life more interesting. Now, studying theory, studying practical lessons is very important, and you also have to make time to study your theory and your practical to the subjects that it concerns. Yeah, if you're studying literature, then there is no theory and practical or art subject, but when you're studying science, you have to incorporate time for your practical also. Now, there's a very good trick. I wouldn't say trick, it's a necessity. Naps are very effective when it comes to studying for long hours. It is said that if you take less than 30-minute naps after studying for a long time, it increases your brain function to a certain level and for a certain time. You can function, you can study nicely, you can retain better. It is said, and all of us might have experienced that we can study the best after a good night's sleep or after a good afternoon sleep. So naps are a good, yes, many of very serious students might think that it's waste of time. To each their own, but I would suggest that naps are really effective at increasing your brain function. Now another thing is, we might have heard this saying that wake up early in the morning and start studying. Early in the morning, it can your brain can retain more information. Now, from personal experience, I would like to say that it never worked for me. I couldn't keep my eyes open at all when I woke up in the morning and started studying. Woke up at 4 a.m., 5 a.m., I couldn't. It was just not me. When could I study the best? I could study the best. I can still study the best in the evening time. So, this is a myth. I would say it's a complete myth. And you should choose your own time. You might be excellent at studying in the dawn, or late nights. You are the late night studying person. Whatever it may be, choose your most difficult topics for the time that you can retain the most. The rest of the time, you can choose easier topics, or you can revise the ones that you have already done. Then, as I said, you have to see, creating a schedule, it's very it depends person to person. You might have you might be doing a job while looking for a degree, so you can't afford to study in the evening, or you can't afford to study in the afternoon. So you have to give yourself that rest before studying. That amount of rest is very important. You cannot register topics correctly or completely if your mind is unrested. Rest is extremely important for optimal brain function. Now, when I am talking about rest, there's also something I would like to talk related to rest. It's music. When you listen to a certain kind of music you love. Now, many of us might think that music that we listen while studying or before studying has to be soft, soothing music. No. Many of us love rock. Many of us love death metal. It can be anything. You have to listen to the music you love. It can be pop. It can be anything. It can be your own musical preference. When you're tired of studying, just sit and listen to the kind of music you love for 15 minutes, 20 minutes. You will see a complete change in your mindset, because music acts as a reset button to our brains. It makes us feel and understand more. That is why every one of us loves music. It greatly helps in studies because it helps your brain open up. And you see, when you study for a long time and you keep on studying, there's a certain cloudiness in your head. You're studying and studying and nothing is registering in your head. Music can greatly help in that. And while you're listening to the music or while you're doing the stuff you love, you cannot feel guilty. You have to give yourself that amount of break that you need. You cannot sit and think that, oh, I'm wasting my time, I could have done better things in this time. You can't do that. Now, another very important thing that most of us ignore is choosing the best environment for study. Now, you might experience that there is one room in your home that you study the best. Now, when you go to another room, that room might have a TV or other entertainment devices, and you cannot study there. So, you have to choose the best place, the best environment that completely suits your studying routine. You cannot be at a place that distracts you. You cannot be near a TV. You cannot be holding a phone in your hands. You cannot be distracted by chatting noises or other distractions. There are a lot of distractions in life. So that is very important. Now, another very important thing that most of us might not even think about during planning our studies is working out, exercising. Yes, when you exercise on a daily basis, the blood flows better to your brain and that increases your brain function. It is absolutely scientifically proven that daily workouts, it might be just jogging around your locality, or maybe many of us are interested in lifting weights. Many of us love doing contact sports like karate. Many of us love doing swimming. It can be any kind of sports, or it can be just a 30-minute workout in your home. It is very important both for your health, both for your bodily health and your mental health. It is absolutely unavoidable and very important for your bodily health to be at par with your mental health. You cannot be eating tons of junk foods and tons of sodas and all that, because when your body is not in tune with your mind, you cannot expect good results. A lot of us have a habit of chewing onto things while studying, eating chips, eating cold drinks while studying. Now that is very detrimental to both our mental and physical health. Then we have to again concentrate on the basic topics like mindful study. You have to study mindfully. You can't zone out of your book. You can study for hours and not retain anything. It is very much possible. You have to make little notes. You have to make little pasties, little, yeah, a lot of us, in many stationaries you will find little papers. You can write your important points there and stick it on the book itself. So you don't have to open another copy while you want to revise. Then another thing that you can absolutely do is making notes in your mind. Now when you're making those notes in your mind, you have to either later write them down or mark them in the book itself. What I do personally to get the most of my study time is I like to keep a pencil or a pen with me, and I like to mark the important parts. So what happens, I am completely invested in my studies. I'm completely registering what I'm studying. I am completely in tune with my book, and I'm marking everything. Not everything, what important topics, and maybe there are points that are not marked. You mark 1, 2. You have to absolutely be focused. You have to focus yourself on what you're studying, or else it all goes down the drain. Focus is the most important thing, and that's what we are talking about today, how to increase that focus. Making little notes, writing down what you have studied helps you retain your studied material a lot better. And one other thing that helps you retain your work the best is teaching it. Yes, you teach your classmate something that you have learned recently about your topic. You will never forget that, because when you teach someone, that particular topic gets completely embedded inside your head. You are making someone else understand. To make someone else understand, you should have absolute complete knowledge of that subject. It is said that if you are able to make a 5-year-old understand what you have studied, that means that you have studied it extremely well. It might be a very complex physics theory, or it might be a very complex criticism theory in literature. This teaching hack I have been doing since a long time. I like to tell my classmates or my colleagues about the things that I have learned, or my parents about the things that I have learned. That really keeps me motivated. Now, another thing that really keeps me going is you have to know, you have to see yourself in that place that you want to achieve. For example, you have to be a you want to be a professor, you want to be a doctor, you want to be an engineer. You see yourself in that place. You see that you have already become that person. How are you holding up? How are you teaching, or how are you treating your patients? When you sit and think about what you want to become in life, it gets very easy for you to stay motivated, because staying motivated is not an easy job at all. You can get motivated in a second. You can buy books, you can buy everything, you can buy impulsively. But staying motivated is the most important factor. You have to imagine yourself in the place that you want to be in life. Now, after all the life hacks that I have given you and all the discussions detailed that I have done with you, there is one very important thing that I would like to tell you is, never forget to take care of yourself. Never forget to have your meals at your times, drink enough water, hydrate yourself, uh, take enough breaks. Not breaks as in break after a 3-hour study. Breaks as in go and chat with your friends for one evening. Sit and watch your favorite movie, or maybe a new movie. So reread your favorite book. Write a poem, whatever you want to do. Because if we do not enjoy the process, if we get frustrated, if we get depressed, there is absolutely no force in nature that can help us succeed. We have to always enjoy the process. Yes, it will get difficult at times. That is life. If it doesn't get difficult, if it doesn't get hard, if it doesn't get a little unachievable, you think, oh my god, I can't achieve this, then when you really achieve it, you won't get the same taste. When things are more difficult to do, when it's more challenging, it's more fun to achieve that goal. That is why people aim big. That is why people work hard, because people want to achieve greater goals that they didn't think that they could achieve. Walt Disney uh, was told by a producer that he didn't have enough imagination, he didn't have enough thought. And look where Walt Disney is today. All of us know about him. We cannot imagine animation without Walt Disney. Taking care of yourself and constantly keeping yourself motivated regardless of what other people say, that is what makes a true winner. A lot of people might be saying things like, oh my god, this person is taking so long to study, he or she is studying and studying and studying and not getting a job, and not not going anywhere, not attending parties. You might have to sacrifice a lot of things. Sacrificing is also a part of life. When you want to achieve something, you have to sacrifice certain things. You have to understand that studying for a year or two can get you in life, can get you very far in life. Those parties, those events, those puja events, or whatever it may be, they will come again. But when you become successful, when you become the person that you want to be in life, you can enjoy all those parties, all those events, all those enjoyments much more, much, much more. So, after a detailed discussion, I would like to say that everyone listening to this, I hope you keep yourself constantly motivated. I hope you keep yourself healthy. I hope you understand your mental requirements, and I hope you take any help when you need. Thank you so much. We'll meet again next class.